You know, Vizio is an interesting TV manufacturer because they're the only ones in the US that actually produce TVs that support every HDR format. And look what I have here. Hey guys, it's the Villaman here, home theater enthusiast and lover of all things tech. And today I have what is Vizio's first OLED TV that they've released. Now, Vizio is known for their low-cost, high-performance TVs, and OLEDs are known to have arguably the best picture quality around. So mix those two together and this is what we have. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun, I think, you know, testing it and comparing it to see just how well it stacks up to the OLEDs and QLEDs out there. But before I can do any of that, I have to unbox it and go over the initial impressions. Stick around. Before we even get into the video, if you're new to the channel and like seeing and learning more about home theater audio and video products like 2020 model TVs like this one and more, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and come along for the ride. Alright, now let's dig in and see what's inside. It's not actually held together with tape, it's like a two-sided sticky tape that's on it, which is interesting. As always, first up is the quick start guide. This is a very solid piece of cardboard. First up we have the power cable, remote and batteries. Then what can only be described as a jigsaw puzzle of stand pieces. Then we have the front of the stand. So now there's nothing else in the box that needs to come out, so now we can actually put the TV on a flat surface so we can install the stand. And if you need a flat surface to install the stand, you can use the box that the TV came in and use the styrofoam as structural support so you can rest the TV on top of it to install your stand. But you may already know this if you've seen my other unboxing videos. The stand is actually pretty simple. Now this part faces forward and this part faces backward. There's actually no actual weight to it. This is pretty weighty, I'd say maybe 10 pounds, but that's about it. The stand will be oriented like this, and this part will have to be oriented like so. If you can see that. And just so you know, this edge of the stand right here is extremely sharp. Be careful because this will cut you. It is not afraid. I can attest to that. So now, we insert the stand into the TV. Then we just screw these 4 screws. Now these are the ones with the blue tips, the bigger ones. This is for cable management. Also, you remove these panels to actually access the ports. So, built-in cable management wires come this way, come through the stand right there. Pretty cool. Then there are these last 2 pieces, the bottom for the actual back part of the stand and the screws to fasten them. They are the smaller screws of the bunch, so there's no mistaking them. And done. The TV comes in either a 55 or 65 inch screen size and has a native 120Hz 4K panel made by LG Display. It supports HDR10, HDR10+, Dolby Vision, and HLG standards. It has Vizio's IQ Ultra image processor and supports Dolby Atmos pass-through. It runs Vizio's SmartCast OS and has support for Apple AirPlay and HomeKit. It also has support for Google and Alexa smart assistants and has 2 HDMI 2.0 ports and 2 HDMI 2.1 ports with support for VRR, ERC, and ALLM. Alright, so let's see what this setup is all about. Alright, so first you choose the language. It's home use. What about home demo? There's no option for home demo, but I guess that's fine. Once you select those, you get to enter your Wi-Fi details. In the bottom left, it shows you the model number of the TV. It's OLED 65-H1. If there's a firmware update, then that'd be very interesting, and apparently there is. And I wonder if there's any way to accept only select terms of service. It doesn't appear so. It's either you select or you accept the Vizio and Google privacy policy or terms of service, or you don't accept any at all. So I guess I'm gonna accept them. So what this is basically saying is that it uses your IP address and your TV identification number essentially to identify you and the content you watch to better use targeted advertising. This doesn't look like it's a part of, say, just making your viewing experience better, but instead just a way to give you targeted ads. So I'll decline. Yes, I will decline. You can also register the TV or just skip that step, which I think I will do. So it's asking you to agree to the data terms and conditions, which essentially is saying that their platform allows them to gather impressions data and click data, kind of like what happens on YouTube. So whether you click on something you're shown or if you scroll past it, but they're saying to agree to the terms and conditions. Accept. And it's telling you how to actually change the inputs on your TV using the remote. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. This is Vizio's first OLED TV, and being an OLED TV, it has great foundation. So the actual differentiator will be Vizio's actual picture processing, which will differentiate it from how the LG OLED performs and how the Sony OLED performs. But so far it's looking great, and the TV has the features to roll with the big boys. So it supports HDMI 2.1, of course, 2 HDMI 2.1 ports, and it supports VRR. I did a quick test on the Xbox One X to see if variable refresh rate was actually enabled, and it was, so that was good to know. This is just my initial impressions since I just got the TV, of course, but even in doing some quick tests just now before I started filming this, I did notice some brightness fluctuations as scenes transition from, say, a bright scene to a dark scene. I noticed where the TV the OLED light just fluctuated, and I was really surprised to see that because I've never seen that on any other TV, any other OLED TV for that matter. But I'm not especially concerned with that because you have to be really looking for it to actually see it, but because I was being so critical, I did see it. But I am curious to see how this performs versus the competition out there. So of course, going forward, I'll be doing the customary test that I do with the TVs I review. So I'll be doing the screen test to see just how well the picture processor and the screen performs. I'll also be doing the gaming test to see how well it games, and hopefully I can actually get in one of those new GeForce graphics cards so I could actually test this TV with. We'll see if my luck pans out. Here's hoping. But besides that, I also intend to compare it to the competition out there. So the Samsung Q90T QLED and the LG C10 OLED. And speaking of which, I've actually filmed the comparison between the Q90T and the TCL 6 series, but I just haven't edited yet because, you know, there's a lot of editing that goes into those comparisons. But I'll be publishing that soon enough, and also because I also want to compare this to the Q90T, that's why I mentioned that. But I'm sure there's a lot of you out there who are wondering if you give up any performance, and if so, how much, by going with a Vizio OLED TV versus, say, an LG or a Sony version. But that's what I intend for the comparison, to tell us how good Vizio's first OLED TV is compared to the others, because the price is very, very competitive when compared to the LGs out there. So the 55-inch version starts at $12.99, and this 65-inch version starts at $19.99. The SmartCast OS is responsive, but it isn't very fluid. So I feel like it's not operating at, say, 60 Hertz. So when you scroll through the operating system, it's not as fluid as one would expect. But at the same time, it is responsive. So when you press the button, the actual icons move, but navigating through all those icons just isn't that smooth. I'll have a lot more to say after I use the TV and my test, so stick around for the full review and the comparison. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it, and thanks for watching. Until next time, this has been your friend and neighborhood Villaman saying be safe and peace.